Hello there everyone, it's Edward from Property Champ Singapore and welcome to the next episode of the Wealth Multiplier Secret Series, where I will share with you some of the property wisdoms and secrets that my smart rich clients use to grow their wealth. So if you'd like to see more of this type of content, do drop a like down below and hit the subscribe button to get notified for our new videos. And if you have not checked out the first two episodes, I'll add the links to them somewhere around this video, and do check those out before you continue watching this. In the previous videos, you have learned how the rich use inflation to increase their wealth and at the same time reduce their debt. So today I'll show you some of the results that our property champs achieved over the years in good and bad property markets after they applied our 7R Plus framework to their property purchases. And more importantly, the takeaway of today's video is to show you the significance of investing in properties using the right fundamentals rather than just buying because a lot of people say, oh, that condo is good, or it's near MRT, or worse, you try to time the market just to wait and see, and then you buy the wrong property.
I am never going to financially recover from this.
So for the first case study, here's one of our many property champs who bought Park Esta through us. And back then, when we first met him, he told us that he was looking at resale units and he spotted one at City Lights because of its location. So for those of you who do not know where City Lights is, it is opposite Lavender MRT and opposite the ICA building. So travel to town, Raffles Place, Bugis are all within a few minutes drive. And he explained to us that City Lights is a good buy due to its closeness to town and was selling at a lower PSF compared to Park Esta. And based on all of these factors, it makes a lot of sense to go for a City Lights unit, right? Furthermore, he said that he could collect passive income from the rent while Park Esta was still under construction. But after we analysed City Lights with our 7R Plus framework, we discovered that it was a bad choice at that time. And in fact, the best time to get a unit at City Lights was when it first launched in 2004. So from then till now, the price has already increased by 167%, with many owners realising their profits from their unit. And after showing him the data, he went ahead with a unit at Park Esta. So when we met to collect the keys back in November, he was super happy because from when he bought Park Esta until now, in general, Park Esta has already appreciated by 23%. And another unit of a similar layout like his has already transacted at 1.79 mil. And if he were to sell it at that price, that would mean about 400,000 of profits before minusing all the fees. On the other hand, if he were to enter the City Lights unit at the same time that he bought Park Esta, that unit would only have appreciated by a meager 2%. And if he were to rent it out, the total profits from his rent would average around 156,000, and the true profit will be way lesser after deducting all the fees and taxes. Of course, looking back, it's obvious that Park Esta was the right choice. But when you buy property, you can only look ahead and never behind. So if you were in his position back in 2018, deciding between Park Esta and City Lights, how would you know which was a better choice? Here's another property champ's case study. Now, we have already known her since 2011, and this was her 2017 property. Now, back then, she wanted to buy seaside residences in East Coast. And even though it passed our 7R Plus framework, we felt that there was another better option for her to pick, and that was the Poise Residences in Potong Pasir, where she got a 3-bedroom unit there. And now, at that time, Poise was already quite close to its TOP date, so she waited around a year before renting the unit out for the next 1.5 years at $4,250 per month. And once her seller stamp duty mark passed its third year, we advised her to realise her gains from the Poise 3-bedder to find the next 7R project to make the next round of profit. And in total, her profits from both the sale and rent amounted to $345,000. And after selling, she managed to get a 2-bedroom unit at the Claremont launch day. And the best part about this is that the profits from Poise were enough to pay for the 25% of the Claremont unit, which meant that the only components that she needed to use her own funds for were the conveyancing fees and stamp duty, which she had more than enough CPS to use. So essentially, she didn't really need to touch her cash savings. Now, but what if she were to go to seaside residences instead? So if she were to buy a 2-bedroom unit back in 2017, and if she were to sell it today, she would make an average profit of around 400k. Now, these are very good returns. And at this point, you surely say, Edward, you see, you can buy any condo in Singapore, you can sure make money one. For what follow your 7R system? Now, before you close this video, let me me show you what her outcome would be if she went for seaside residences instead of Poise. Now, firstly, she'll miss out on the chance to get a 2-bedroom unit at Clairvaughn because 90% of the 2-bedroom units were sold on the first day. And secondly, the big problem she would face is the risk of getting outpriced. Wanna know how much she got her Clairvaughn unit for? The PSF for that unit is about 1,640, and the average PSF of new condos in the OCR region today is trending around 2,000. So translating that into dollars, this means that she will need to come up with 275,000 more just to buy a unit of a similar size. And if you compare her profits between Poise and the potential profits from Seaside, the difference turns out to be about 55 to 60k. But this difference of profit cannot make up for the opportunity cost of 275,000. So can you see, most of the time as investors, we only focus on huge returns, and this creates a blind spot, and that's ignoring opportunity costs. So if you are still sitting on unrealized gains that are quite substantial and have the next property in mind, you should probably make the move before you get outpriced. But if you are sitting on substantial unrealized gain and want to buy the next property but just don't know where, do you know who to call? Of course, us lah. So now these two case studies are just a tiny fraction of the few hundreds of property champs that we have helped win in this property game, and we are absolutely grateful that we could be a part of their property journey. Oh, and this is something that we also tell all our property champs, and that is not to sell for the sake of selling at a high price, because we have seen many others who did not know that and are now stuck because they are priced out of the market without a home to stay. And even if we wanted to help these property buyers, we cannot, because they did not do proper planning and calculations. So after watching this video, if you want to experience similar results like any of our property champs that I mentioned, you can click on the link in the description for a free consultation with us. And because one-to-one consultations are time intensive, it is only by approval basis only. And if you like this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Like always, I'm Edward, empowering you to be property champs.